Do you consider yourself to be a people pleaser, a pushover, or someone who is just so overwhelmed and busy all the time? You, my friend, may have loose boundaries. That's right. Welcome to the Energy Fix, a place where we talk about all things health and wellness from the place that everything is energy, and balancing your energy can bring you a totally fulfilling life. So, do you have loose boundaries? You may. Boundaries are the backbone to any healthy relationship, including the one with yourself and the one with every single other person that you allow to enter into your life, even the cashier at the grocery store. Knowing what we stand for, what is okay, what's not okay, what we need to make us healthy, it starts to feed our self-respect. It starts to feed our personal empowerment. And it also helps us to shed the labels of people pleaser, pushover, super overwhelmed person, too busy, all of those labels that can get put on you when it's really hard to say no or to set some of those boundaries. So let's talk about what you can do. So first off, I just want to say that it is totally easy to start playing a victim. I get it. I've been there. I know how easy it is to succumb to the craziness that life can bring, and to also to succumb to relationship demands and the things that you feel like you need to output and do. It's really easy to become a victim in life. And when your boundaries are loose and you fall into that victim mindset or that victim place, people start to walk all over you. They start to take advantage. No longer do you feel like your needs matter quite as much. That's where we start to fall into problems. Loose boundaries makes it super hard to have a really strong foundation in your life. And it makes it really hard for you to walk towards your goals healthfully and with an empowered movement, an empowered mindset. Loose boundaries can also cause uncertainty, anxiety, even depression. It can start to create these mood swings that starts to play with your health as an overall. It can actually start to cause a slew of other health concerns because now all of a sudden you're starting to feel these low vibrations in your body. Your energy, your energetic body is starting to get completely overwhelmed. And you may even be getting some trapped emotions stuck within your body's tissues. That can lead to a slew of health concerns, such as fibromyalgia and other kind of pain problems. So boundaries don't just stay with us in the short period. When you have a long period of time that your boundaries are loose and you're allowing yourself to kind of free float and allowing other people's energies to cloud and overwhelm you, all of a sudden you may start to feel these long-term health effects. Just keep that in mind, because strong boundaries are not just going to help you to have more time for yourself, but they're also going to set you up for a really strong, solid health profile and allow you to be able to move towards other healthy goals that you want to add in. So what kind of things can you do? First off, it's really, really important to know what are your values and what do you stand for. You need to know yourself and what you need. So if you have a priority of spending time with your significant other in the evening, then always making plans for either work or personal entertainment functions or whatever it may be, but making a lot of plans in the evening that takes you away from that special time that you spend with your significant other could be going against your priority of spending that time. That is a loose boundary, right? So knowing what is important for you, what you need, is going to help you to set your boundaries much, much stronger. Now, these are not always so concrete and so straightforward. Some boundaries are going to be concrete, right? Some boundaries could be things like, I don't check social media after 10 p.m. I just don't. That's not what I do. But other boundaries could be flexible. So maybe you have a boundary that you do not answer your telephone or answer your text messages after 8 p.m. in the evening. However, if you know, for example, that somebody calls you, like maybe your mom or your dad or maybe a brother or sister, and you know that it could be an emergency, or you also know that it could be something that they need to talk to you now, then maybe that boundary might become a little more flexible and you would engage, even though your original boundary is, I do not engage in these phone calls or text messages after 8 p.m. You see the difference here? There are some that are going to be concrete, and that is totally fine. And there are some that are going to be a little bit more flexible. But the key thing is coming down to knowing what those values are, those priorities are, what you need, what you value, so that you can move forward a little bit more strong. The next piece to this, because people can't read your mind, is that you need to communicate it. You need to declare it to yourself. I declare I will not answer my social media after 10 p.m., right? But you also have to tell other people. So if you get questioned, or if people say, I don't understand, why can I never get a hold of you in the evening? I'm just sticking with this example because it's an easy one, right? Why can I never get a hold of you in the evening? If you haven't communicated your boundaries, it may come across in a different light. So being really communicative of what it is that you need, what your boundaries are, and putting that out there is going to help to set you up for success, so that other people can know what to expect, but also know what to give back to you, and to be able to help you stick with your boundaries. Listen, not everybody is going to totally respect that, right? Not everybody's going to respect your boundaries. And that's where the next piece comes in. It's about saying no more than you say yes, and staying very clear with those boundaries. So one of the most amazing pieces of aha realizations that I got around boundaries is actually from my friend who is a relationship coach, Bev Jo Ehrlich. Bev Jo told me that boundaries is not about being in your very aggressive masculine energy, and it's not about being in your floatier, lighter, feminine energy. But it's about having a beautiful mesh of the two, so that you're living in a place of intimacy and you are responding your boundaries out of that balanced place of intimacy. I thought that was beautiful and brilliant, because so many of us push so hard into the masculine, but then when we get frustrated, we fly over into the other side and we get a little bit more loose in those boundaries and let some things fall and fly away. right? So when you can mesh them together and come into this beautiful place of right in the middle or pretty darn close, that's where the intimacy happens. And that's where you start to have much stronger boundaries in a healthier way. So boundaries are not about becoming a tyrant and being so hardcore in what it is that you say that you're going to do. It's about knowing when you can loosen, when you can flow through, and when you also have to set some of those more concrete boundaries. That's the healthy place. But it takes you saying no more than you say yes, and allowing your schedule, your time to be a little bit more open so that you can finally learn and practice these boundaries that are right for you. Boundaries are everything. And allowing yourself to really experiment with them and try different hats on, see what feels right, see what feels in alignment, is going to totally transform the way that, number one, you interact with other relationships in your life, but also number two, how you feel about yourself and how balanced your entire energetic body becomes when you step into a place of that empowerment and the self-respect. If you like this and you found value, subscribe by hitting the button. Comment below if you have anything that you want to share about boundaries and how you have either been successful or how you're moving forward with them right now. Energy is everything, and we need to respect that. Walking forward to get more health and wellness is totally possible, and you can make all of these amazing transformative health goals, but under the understanding that energy is everything, and we need to respect that too.